to another episode of the Sean Farrell podcast. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's get into it. All right. So the number one symptom of depression that isn't talked about, okay? Rumination. Thinking about your problems all the time and obsessing over the pain. Some examples of rumination. Stuck in your head 24/7, replaying every mistake, can't stop thinking about how bad things are, the negative loop that can make your pain feel bigger until you're mentally and emotionally drained. It's like a cycle. It starts with a problem, then overthinking about my problem grows, more overthinking, problem grows even more depressed. Okay. So, say yes to processing and talking about your mental health, but also yes to breaking a cycle of negative thinking and obsession. You can start small. Gentle action can interrupt the spiral. Take a short walk, run a small errand, clean one thing. Small accomplishments are so good for your mind. If you're hurting, you deserve support. Therapy that can help you untangle the spiral. But this doesn't have to be your forever. Okay? So that post was from the Happiness Project. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back. Not that one. No, not that. Here we go. Okay. I don't think I talked about this yet, but depression to tiredness. What people see versus what's actually happening. Okay. What people see, lying in bed. What's actually happening, being so physically drained of energy, you can't move. Okay. What people see, decreased work or study. What's really happening is this, being so mentally fatigued, you check out and can't concentrate. What people see is laziness for not doing the chores. What's actually happening, having all your motivation directed towards surviving and having none left for the little things. What people see, zoning out during conversation and not caring. But what's actually happening is feeling so mentally drained, you can't process the world around you. What people see, choosing the easy option and watching TV. But what's actually happening is being exhausted from ruminating. Just talked about rumination, right? Being exhausted from ruminating about the same thing and needing a distraction. Okay. Yeah, so when you're depression tired, yeah, it saps you of everything. Saps you of wanting to take a shower, saps you of wanting to brush your teeth, even picking up your toothbrush to brush your teeth. That seems like a all task. That's what depression does to you, okay? Picking up a fork just to eat your food seems like a all task. If you have to use the restroom, bathroom, that seems like a all task. This occurs with me, especially since I work two jobs, right? It always feels like that I never get enough sleep, okay? It always feels like I never get enough sleep. And when I do get enough sleep, when I wake up, it just feels like that I overslept. Okay. It feels like I overslept. Okay. And as a result, I'm not feeling rested. Well, there's something that it's called. There's something that um I saw this years ago. There's something that's called sleep debt. Okay, sleep debt. It's when your body is not fully rested. Despite sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours, your body's still not fully rested. So that may be the situation that I'm facing. Waking up every day, sleep debt. Okay, especially when I wake up on Mondays. Okay. Um, um, when I wake up, um, it always feels like that I left some sleep on the table. Okay. Because within like 30 to 60 minutes of waking up, I can feel myself getting tired again. See, I can feel myself getting tired again. And so when I get tired, I know I left about probably 2 or 3 hours of sleep on the table. So um, I go back to sleep shortly thereafter. Okay. And there's something called, and that's what's called sleep debt. Okay. And so I guess your body's trying to make up for all the hours you lost during the week of sleep that you missed out on. Okay. And so yeah, but depression, tiredness, sleep debt. Yeah. Um, Also, a common depression trap people get stuck in. Okay. Wanting help from others, but also not wanting to reach out. Okay. I'm not the greatest at reaching out. Okay. I'm not the greatest at reaching out, but I'm improving, and I'm working on it, and I'm improving. Okay. At first, reaching out. I didn't like reaching out because I think that people won't respond to me in a timely manner, and if I don't hear from you, then it's probably going to be a while before I actually reach out to you again. Okay. But like I said, I'm working on it. I'm getting better. Um, Still have work to do, but yeah, a common depression trap people get stuck in. On one hand, you want help from others because it's scary fighting depression alone. Yes, it is. You need relief from the intrusive thoughts that say horrible things about yourself, and another person can help provide another voice that can quiet depression's voice, like you're unlovable, you're not worthy, you're not enough, um, you are not unloved. Just things like that. That depression talks to you and tells you. But on the other hand, you fear reaching out because you fear you may be a burden, you bother them, or that you'd get in the way. You believe depression is yours to carry alone. Okay. So I remember a few years ago, I was at work. Okay. And my friends who live in Nashville. Okay. I don't know why this phone keeps going dark so quick. Anyway, my friends who live in Nashville. I was at work, and I believe I texted him, and my friend and my boss had the same name. They had the same name. Okay. They were both named Brenda. Okay. So I texted my Nashville friend Brenda by accident. Okay, I texted her by accident. Okay, and that may have been the best accidental text I've sent. Okay, so and so she called me back. He called me back. Said, hey, I'm at work, but I can call you back a little later. And so I forget how. But because I know she's involved in the Nashville AFSP walk. She's involved in Nashville AFSP walk. I'm going to be there this year again. But I forget what transpired. All I know is that we were talking, texting back and forth, telling her about my situation. And she said, hey, is there anything I can do? I said, sure. I said, I said, sure. And I said, I would appreciate it if, you and your husband, check in on me every now and then, because it's often that, I don't have the whole body to, check in on me. And so then she's like, yeah, we can do that. I said, okay. But then I had to ask for a little bit of reassurance. I said, so she said, hey, you can text us at any time. I said, okay. So I'm like, I wouldn't be a bother to you all. She said, absolutely not. She says, no. She's a devout Christian. Okay. And so, I'm like, okay. And so, she has been pretty darn consistent in seeing how I'm doing. Okay. She's been pretty consistent in seeing how I'm doing. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So what were we talking about? A common depression trap people get stuck in. Okay. So, the one I just read, but on the other hand, though, you fear reaching out because you fear you may be a burden, you'd bother them, or that you'd get in the way. You believe depression is yours to carry alone. Okay, so this trap is why so many people suffer in silence and hide their depression behind a smile. Okay. Yeah. This is a common thing I have when I'm at my first job. When I see him and they're smiling, laughing. I do find myself wondering, what is their mental state like? What are they battling? Depression? Are they battling thoughts of suicide? Are they battling anxiety? Okay, because I've told this story before. There was a woman at work, a young lady at work, and she was loading a trailer. Okay, she was loading a trailer, and I'm walking by, and I just so happened to look in the trailer while walking by, and she has her head buried, in her knees. Okay, she just has her head buried in her knees, and she's crying. Right. So I go up to her, and I say, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey, you okay? What's going on?" And I believe she told me she was having anxiety attack or sensory overload. which can happen in loud environments. Um, so, and so, she told me about the situation with her parents. And, yeah. And so she also told me that, the flashbacks came and hit her right there as she was working in the trailer. The flashbacks came and hit her, in the trailer. She told me that she had been to a couple of mental facilities, and just the trauma of being there came back to her at that particular time. Okay. Yeah, so you never know when his stuff is gonna hit you. Okay, it can hit you at any time. When you're at work, when you're sleeping, when you're out with friends, okay? When you're lifting weights, okay? Yeah, so yeah, that kind of stuff can hit you at any time. And so you just never know what somebody's going through. Okay. You just never know what somebody's going through. Let me do one more. Okay. Okay, so people think about suicide not just because they want to die, okay, but also because they feel unseen, unwanted, and forgotten, and want to see who would even notice if they were gone. This is something that I can attest to. I have dreamt about me ending my life, and seeing the story written in the paper about what happened. Okay, I have dreamed about that. They have tried every other way of reducing their pain, but it seems like there is only one solution. They no longer want to be a burden to their loved ones, and the only thing keeping them around is the pain that their suicide will bring to those people. Their pain seems like it is going to last a lifetime, and they would rather not live such a life. They are unable to exert control over other areas of their life, and how their life ends seems to be the only thing within their control. They think about suicide as a way to exact vengeance or spite on the people who hurt them. Okay. Even if they know they will never do it, having the thought that they can always turn to suicide keeps them alive. Huh. Even if they know they will never do it, having the thought that they can always turn to suicide keeps them alive. Yeah. They do not see a reason or motivation to live life, given the hopelessness they feel towards themselves and the world. Yeah. Okay. So, what's the one? Okay. No, not have that one. Okay, so this is something that I say often. Hey, if you're thinking about suicide, battling depression, anxiety, hey, you matter. You are loved. You are more than enough. Okay, and you are not a burden. All right. Don't let depression trick you. Oh, Lord have mercy. Don't let depression trick you. Don't let depression trick you into believing that you are not lovable, that you are a burden, and that you don't matter. Don't let depression trick you, okay? You matter. You're loved. You are more than enough. Your life matters. Okay, you matter. And hey, if you can't find if you can't find people, family, friends to reassure you of what you're going through, to positively reassure you of what you're going through, hey, you can always call us here at 988. Okay, we listen without judgment, show compassion, understanding, and empathy. Okay, and if we would just learn to do those four things, okay, we would just learn to do those four things, a lot of lives will be saved. Okay, a lot of lives will be saved. All right, but we also understand that not everybody has those reinforcements, positive reinforcements they can come to. Okay, and that's where we at 988 come in. Again, you're loved, you matter, you're not a burden, and you are more than enough. Don't let depression trick you into thinking that you are. Okay, your life matters. Okay, and there's always hope. There's always hope, and somebody needs to hear this, because there's somebody out there that's watching this video who has no hope. Okay, I'm telling you right now that there is hope. Okay, I want you to see another day. Okay, I want you to see another day. I want you to experience good things. Okay, and I don't know what else to say, but I just leave it right. I just stop right there. Okay, I just stop right there. So I want to make one last point. One last point. So they think about suicide as a way to exact vengeance or spite on the people who hurt them. So this that I just read, okay, I was thinking about a video that I saw, and obviously, obviously there were it was people were acting right. So it was a group of three girls in high school, right? And they were making fun of this young lady in high school. They called her FPS, Fat Pig Slut. That's what they called her. Yeah, they called her Fat Pig Slut. Anyway, and so one of the three young ladies saw that she was talking to her boyfriend, and the girls got pissed, and they were talking about what they were going to do. They were going to talk about what they were going to do, and they spread all kinds of stuff about her. They were saying stuff like, "I really hate that bitch," and yada 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 whatnot. Said it said it said so it said so such and such. Nobody loves you. And they were like, "We can keep this up all year long." That's what the three girls said of this young lady they were bullying in high school. They said, we can keep this up all year." Okay. Okay. So one day the three girls, they arrived in a class, right? And they were just doing all sorts of stuff, setting up websites, talking about it set up a website talking about haters or such.com. Then someone on the intercom says, I believe it was a principal. The principal comes on the intercom and says, "We regret to inform you that the family of such and such has informed us that she has ended her life by suicide. We would like to take a moment to remember her. You will miss her." And then all of the three girls' faces went like, "What?" And the principal also said, "Now we are also cooperating with law enforcement to see who did this." So all of a sudden, a couple of law enforcement agents walk into the classroom, said, "You, and you, come here." Yeah. So when I read that, they think about suicide as a way to exact revenge or spite on the people who hurt them. That's something that I thought about. That's something that I thought about. Yeah. All right. That's it. And that's all for the Sean Farrell podcast. I am out of here. May God bless you all. You matter. You are loved. You are not a burden. And don't let anybody else ever tell you different. Peace. God bless.